Manny Pacquiao is fighting Juan Manuel Marquez for the WBO Champion of the Decade belt. So basically, they've made up a belt for them to fight for because they didn't have any belts between them that they've recently defended or won legitimately in the ring. And Marquez is the interim WBO light welterweight champion. But what the fuck's that? So they're trying to basically print up money because if they're going to charge a sanctioning fee for this shit, that's like they're trying to print up money. What's going on?
Yeah, I heard about that. What it is like they've jumped on board with the WBC, with the WBC and their super belt, the super silver belt, and blah blah blah. So yeah, it's another way of them earning money. The belt, it just shows you the value of the belts even more. The belts don't really mean anything. But like, who's gonna believe that of the decade? How is Marquez even in the rating for the decade? And
Exactly.
And furthermore, didn't Manny Pacquiao just lose the WBO belt? You know what I mean? They just lost. He just lost the belt to Tim Bradley. Are they fighting in welterweight?
Yeah.
Well, he just lost the belt. So what's going on there? What's going on there? It just shows you this boxing gone crazy. It's that shows you that match is even devalued even more. If it was a 10-round, it should have been all right. They could have made it a belt, intercontinental belt, whatever. But of the decade, like who's what? I have no words. I have no words in my no words. No words.
No
words.
at all. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. To anyone who knows boxing, it's like, what's that? But like, if you let's ignore that and go to the fight, then we have a great fight. Whatever, it doesn't matter. That belt doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know what they're doing. WBO doing. It just shows you. And the thing, the WBO had some sort of credibility.
Yeah,
That's gone out the window right now, mate.
yeah, of course it has. Of course it has.
Out the window right now. It doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. Because usually at the WBO, they were the only one who never really got caught up in that stuff, and obviously they have now, and it just it doesn't mean anything. It's a shit. I don't know what they're doing with that. The belts don't mean anything. Just all it is, the belts. All the belts are just devalued. It's the people who hold the belts. That's what means anything. If anything.
That's it. I'm assuming the fight is at welter. It's a good point you make. Is the fight at welterweight or light welter?
It's probably welterweight. It's probably going to be a welterweight, and already Tim Bradley's the champion. So what they're doing, more or less, they're brushing Tim Bradley to the side. It's like that fight didn't happen. He didn't beat Manny Pacquiao. That's what they're saying. That's what they're basically trying to say with that.
Wow, that's just dirty, man. This is some dirty bullshit.
That's enough. Yeah, Bob. I'm not blaming Bob Arum, but I'm just saying it's if you look on it, yeah. If you look on the WBC, see most of the stuff is happening because of WBC. I've been recently watching because I got a Manny Pacquiao boxing playlist, and I'll be watching all of his fights, the fights he made champions and so on and so forth. And I watched one of the fight, and both of them are head clash. And in WBC, got this rule that whoever gets headbutting, even if it's accidental, they take a point off the other guy if he's not bleeding. So if they accidentally hit each other at the same time, the one who's not bleeding, they take a point off. Now, what happened in boxing is that when that stuff happens, people should have jumped on it and say, well, hold on a minute, that's not fair, right? Right? This is not fair because even in boxing before that, when there was a standing 8 count, right, in boxing, people agreed that it wasn't fair because you're giving a guy to recover. So they waived the stand 8 count. Everyone unanimously agreed that stand 8 count is not good in certain things, right? And so basically, the WBC have implemented that rule about the headbutt. And now, what you see now is the WBC adding all these silver belts. Remember, they added interim, I think they were the first one to add interim,
I
right?
think they was, It was a good point. I think they actually was. Yeah.
Yeah. They added interim, right? And everyone, see what it is it's the media should be getting on this stuff. So they added interim, and no one said anything, right? Now he added super belt, and no one said anything. And now they think, okay, WBO's watching this, and think we get money. Okay, this is another way of us getting money. Now we're adding this decade beat, and now all of a sudden everyone's like, hold on a minute, what is that? But no one's saying anything. It's just letting these ludicrous people control boxing and the belt, and everyone's more or less just rolling with it. These belts are just devalued. They don't mean anything. I don't see, what I mean? Hopefully this is a one and done. I hope everyone jumps on board of this year, right, and totally criticize it and say, what the heck are you doing? What, the president of WBO should be sacked. Yeah, and they should revamp. When they start going down on this, they should go down on the whole thing. All of them. They should all the interim and all that rubbish should be stopped. Right? All that should be cut off and make it back when it was one champion, right? All these some of them sanctions for should go out. They should go bankrupt and go out of business. Some of them, seriously.
I mean, look what they're doing to Tim Bradley, like you said. I mean, I didn't even think of that angle. Bradley still has a belt. It does, even if it was the most corrupt decision ever made in boxing, which it wasn't, right? This is ridiculous. You can't. Yeah. The man's got his belt, his official WBO belt, and you're making titles while he's the living and breathing champion, regardless of how people think the fight was scored or whatever. That's ridiculous.
It's almost just, it's like it didn't happen. Nah, it never happened. Let's go on. Because Manny Pacquiao earns more money, so we're just gonna roll with Manny. That's more or less has happened there. This is what I'm trying to say to you, like somewhere along the line, because if you look at this, I'm gonna be honest with you. Some promoters are affiliated with sanction bodies. All right, I'm gonna put it like this: IBF. Who's affiliated with the IBF? And I'm gonna tell you who is. It's Don King. Every time Don King's very affiliated with the IBF and WBA, right? Yeah. When you go WBC and WBC and WBO, Bob Arum, he's affiliated with them two belts. That's more or less covered the whole thing, you know. Yeah, that's all the belts. That's all the belts between the two of them. Yeah. Because in the rankings, if you notice, Don King's majority of these fights, majority of these champions have been IBF, right? Or actually, he's had WBC belts, right? But more IBF and WBA. Yep. More around that route, right? And then thingy, because obviously John Ruiz and Evander Holyfield, that belt was on lock. That heavyweight belt was on lock with Don King, right? Yep. And now you got WBO belts, right? Margarito, I can go that Margarito, Manny Pacquiao, all around the champions, they've all gone for them WBOs. That's what's happened. So I'm not trying to say Bob Arum has done that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Come on, man.
It's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
He's doing exactly what Don King was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've gone around the corner. It's what even though because the thing is, you're looking on. We can make the mouse amount of money. Let's throw in another belt, and whoever wins this belt is gonna be. So what? Tim Bradley's belt he's got is the legit champion. Yep. Is this decade belt higher than his belt? After both of them just lost, because Pacquiao beat Marquez, and Pacquiao beat Marquez, and then Pacquiao just lost to Bradley. So they're both losers. So what is that belt higher than Tim Bradley's belt? Are they trying to make us believe that?
Well, look at it this way, yeah. Tim Bradley's fan base compared to Marquez and Pacquiao, who's got the bigger fan base?
Well, you know already, like, who's got the biggest fan base, man? Right. Look, bro, Marquez has got the Marquez and Pacquiao. Who's got the biggest fan base, right? Wait, because both of them basically fight in America, right? You'd have to go Marquez, man. Marquez has got the whole freaking country, blood. Right. Marquez is unanimously recognized as the #1 Mexican fighter, right? #1 Mexican fighter on the planet, more than Canelo and more than anyone else, as far as I know, more than Chavez, right? Recognized as the best boxer. Most Mexicans would say that, right? Manny Pacquiao is the only Philippine boxer on the. That's what they got, and the Philippine people, they have to come over, right? Yep, they have to come over. I mean, it would big in it. If he fights in his country, yeah, it's big. Then Tim Bradley can't sell flies. Him and Tim Lazon had a fight more or less in the basement. No one came to see that fight. It wasn't big. It should have been. It wasn't. He couldn't sell that much. It's terrible, man. So I say first off, I say Marquez, then Pacquiao, and then Bradley, in that order.
Well, I suppose Donito Dene is approaching a time where he's challenging for the top Filipino fighter. But regardless of that, whoever wins this Fighter of the Decade fight, and whoever wins that fight is going to be maybe not in the eyes of people with knowledge, but to the armchair fans who can't keep up with all the belts, they'll just see it as a belt. Oh, Pacquiao's got the WBA Decade champion, yeah, or Marquez, and they're going to be running with him. They're going to get more newspaper headlines.
You want to be honest with you? I think the Marquez fans just want to get Pacquiao. They don't care. They want to get him. I don't think they're concerned about the belt. I don't think Pacquiao's concerned about the belt. Right? Right now, Marquez. If Marquez wins the fight, he's retiring. And he don't care about the belt, right? Pacquiao wins the fight, he's just looking for money. Because I don't know why he seems like he's just fighting for money, because there's no reason why he needs to fight Marquez if he proved something already. So in my opinion, this fight, what's happening, is already devalued, kind of. It's lost. I mean, you'll watch it, but it wouldn't be like your #1 fight to go, oh, I need to be watching that. It's like, oh, the Marquez and Thingy Pacquiao fight's on. The Marquez fans will be on it. The hardcore Marquez fans are more on it. But I wouldn't say generally in boxing, let's all go see what's going on. You know what I mean?
Well, it was devalued already, the fact they were fighting for a 4th time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
already.
yeah, that's what it is. Well, listen, bro. At the end of the day, it just shows you that all the WBO, they just made them put egg on their face and people looking like you're a clown. You're a clown. You're trying to tell us a boxer of the decade because you can't be a boxer of the decade when the sports writers and the people write the magazines, the media, they decide who's the boxer of the decade, right? With opinions, they make out who's the boxer of the decade.
Exactly.
So just having a belt of the decade. So let's say, all right, so Pacquiao wins the fight and he fights some bum. No one knows him. Yeah. I don't know, right? And that guy beat. Is that guy the boxer of the decade? Are you trying to tell me that guy's the boxer of the decade?
Exactly.
Are you trying to make us believe that? Are you crazy, blood?
Well, that's
like,
the best point you could have made.
The ring belt, right?
Yeah.
The ring belt, right?
Yeah.
Owned by De La Hoya, the Ring magazine belt, which is credible belt.
Right.
It's been around for hundreds of years, right?
Yeah.
And you only get that belt when you unified all the other belts.
That's right.
You don't even touch it until you get belt. So that just shows you how important kind of that belt is, right? So what we in terms of steps, that box of the decade belt doesn't mean jack shit, blood.
Nah, it is very suggestive that, and very arrogant for them to suggest that they could put forward, like you said, 2 boxers, in their opinion, that could compete for that title.
Yeah.
So what are they saying? And what does it mean? When you say the best fighter of the decade, what, pound for pound? Or in the welterweight division? What does it mean?
They have no idea. You know what? The thing is, yeah, if anyone knows about boxing, they're not even... It's like I'm not even listening to it. It's like one of the things. What'd you say? No, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. They have no credit. The thing is, the 2 boxers, Marquez and Thing, right? Yeah. The English is not too good. Yeah. Maybe the English is not too good. Pacquiao can speak better than Marquez, right? Marquez can speak some English still, right? And they looking at this. What are we fighting? What belt are we waiting for? Oh, WBO. They might just put WBO. Okay, we'll fight whatever belt we're fighting of the decade. Marquez must have looked. What decade? What are you talking about? Now, I hope Max Kellerman.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Please, Matt Kellerman and Larry Merchant should, even with his own senile self, and some other people, they question this shit. What? Because the thing is, I'll be honest with you, even though people criticize them people, they hate all this bloody bullshit with the belts.
You think
so hopefully, they do. I heard them criticize it a lot of times. Because they agree with Mayweather about when you win a belt, you have to pay for they take money out of your earnings to support the belt, sanctioning fees, right? So they disagree with that. I've heard them many times disagree with that stuff. So I think they're gonna go in on this bullshit with this belt thing.
They're not gonna go in and disrupt their paymasters.
No. They at some point you be surprised if they. But listen, Max Kellerman's said it many times. The belt is meaningless. But basically, we have a credible fight to settle things. No, trust me, they'll say something about it, but it wouldn't be on the level me and you and some people should do. Like obviously 78 Fight News and Blood Boxing and some of the other guys who'd go in on that shit. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, of course.
They'd go in on it. Like we us on YouTube.
They've got a plan.
Go in on it.
They've got a plan to Bob Arum at least. And I mean that if Pacquiao can win this spectacularly and they can align a belt to his victory, you know. He could have more bargaining power for a potential Mayweather fight or whatever. But the best result for this fight would be for Marquez to knock him out. I'm serious.
Yeah, that's right. That's what this is what I'm saying to you.
Let me just finish this point. I'll let you come in, right? And the reason for that is Pacquiao is still ranked joint number one in the Ring magazine and by a lot of other people as the pound for pound best fighter. So if he wins that title, the very suggestive title they have, it's going to lay the seeds down that he's the best fighter. But if Marquez was to win it, how can he walk around and say he's the fighter of the decade? We need Marquez to win it.
It's ludicrous.
Yeah.
It's ludicrous. That's what I tell you.
If Marquez wins it, they're going to look stupid. The WBO are going to be looking mad stupid.
Listen, bruv, I'm not going to lie to you, bruv. I think they're mad stupid already. So I'm not going to lie to you. It's already, are you trying to make us believe something like that? Like, it has no credibility. Just let me tell you something, right? It has no credibility. They have no credibility. None
at all.
None at all. If whatever they've done in the past years, like you had Joe Calzaghe defended that WBO belt 20 times. And I looked on just recently, because I was looking at Manny Stewart's fighters, and then you had Michael Mora. And you know he defended the WBO belt like 7 times.
What, the light heavyweight? Or
no, heavyweight.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, and then you're thinking, and even the WBO, I don't even know who the WBO heavyweight champion is. That belt hasn't got no people don't even look at that belt, right? So right. WBO already, like, they've lost whatever credibility they were accumulating by doing this. It's completely ludicrous, right? And it's a farce. You know what I mean? Any person who knows anything about boxing, you can't make that statement.
Unregulated mess. That's what it's becoming now. Just an unregulated mess.
Yeah. It's you know, I don't know what they think they're trying to achieve with them trying to make fans believe that this is for the come on.
Well, I'll tell you what, boy. I'm gonna buy a Mexican sombrero, as black as I am. I have to root for Marquez to win it, or it's gonna become a farce.
Yeah, well, listen, bruv, the fans, listen, that's exactly how they won it. Pacquiao, listen, Marquez are probably, I'm not gonna lie to you, Marquez seems like he's on course to win it, right? He's probably got more desire to beat Pacquiao than Pacquiao has to beat him. Because really, Pacquiao got the decision, but he didn't really win the fight, right? And they're only making the fight just to clear things up. But in the day, like, Pacquiao's declined already. As you can see, really, he declined. Marquez is going in there, yeah, I won't, but you know what, buy the sombrero. Yeah,
I'm buying my sombrero, boy. I mean, and some tacos or whatever, boy.
On that night. Yeah, and then sit back. Yeah.
And is El Paso, the beer, what's the beer I used to drink again? Is it Sol? I think it's a Mexican. Yeah, I'll buy a couple of them. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be an honorary Mexican on that day, no doubt. No doubt. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. I have not.
I'll buy a poncho on them thing there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything.
True that.
Yeah, for real.
Because listen, it just shows you that in boxing, where the belts, it just shows you even furthermore how the belts are. It's like drinking orange and you put water in it, and what happens to it? It gets diluted. It's diluted into it. Just basically turns into the water.
That's right.
It's just diluted. This the whole belt thing, right? With this is just diluted. I hope after this fight, with that belt, it goes into the dustbin where it deserves. It's not. I'm not like the decade, the title, fight of the decade. No, not that. It's just that there shouldn't be a belt to say there's a title of the decade. It's more or less, you know, your achievement, your body of work for the whole century. You can't put Marquez in there for a decade. You could never put Marquez in there in the fighter of the decade.
Well, that's it.
Maybe you said action fighter of the decade, right? Fight, but you couldn't have but even that, you can't have a title to have that description.
That's right. It's ridiculous. You see, but what you said next, that's what's coming next. Next, they're gonna have an action title. That's what they're gonna do.
Like I said to you, look, it's two big high profile fighters, and I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't blame it on Marquez and Pacquiao, right? Them, as far as they're concerned, are just fighters, and they will fight forever belt. And like I said, the English is not too good, and that's what I'm saying to you. So you can hustle them with any belt. I want to see is who's ready to fight for that belt after Joe Schmo. If you know something. That's what I want to see after. Yeah. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Whoever wins that bout, I want to see them. Yeah, let me defend the fight of the decade belt. Yeah, come who wants to fight me for that belt? I'm interested to see what happens after that.
Boy, the way
maybe this fight is a one-off where the
no. That belt is going to be. How can they get? If they get rid of it, they're going to look stupid. That belt's there to stay now.
Well, if they're doing that, I want to see.
How does it work? Like you say, what if it ends up in a novice's hands with 5 fights?
Listen, bro. Right now, right? Me and you might as well be on the campaign thing to blow the horn on this rubbish. You're already starting to make sure that whoever fights that belt, you have no credibility.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
You have I understand you get hustled. These two have been hustled into this belt. They don't really care about the belt. I'll be honest. All right, you can give these two a pass. Honestly, right? They've been hustled into it.
How can you? Marquez isn't even in the top 10 pound for pound fighters.
He's not no more. He was before though. He was before. Not too long ago until Floyd beat him. He was like top 3.
But not anymore.
Nah. No.
How can he fight for that belt?
Nah, yeah.
And what does it mean? What does it mean in the welterweight division? In all the divisions? What does it mean?
Doesn't mean anything, mate.
Dude,
doesn't mean anything. They're just trying to. It's just another way of. You know what? We should really look into the sanctioning fees. How much do the boxers have to pay? The sanctioning fees. How much money they ask from the sanctioning fees from? Let's say a fighter.
It's a nice sum, yeah. It's a nice sum.
Dude, is that what it is?
It's a good sum. Of course it is.
So this fight. So listen now. So this is a good point, right? So listen to this now. So I just thought about it, right? So this the normal WBO belt is they take some sanction fees. Now this belt has got a bigger name, Fighter of the Decade. So boy, with that Fighter of the Decade thing, the sanction fees must be doubled. Then I lie.
Well, who knows with them guys? You know what I mean? Who knows?
So that's a way. Yeah. So that's what it is. It's doubled. It's a way of them taking dough out of your pocket, blood.
Yeah, and you said you can't blame it on the boxers.
Nah,
we can't keep doing that, right? We can't just keep allowing the boxers to get away scot-free and then we start cursing out the Don Kings and the Bob Arums because it's too easy to do that. Both fighters are paid in the shade.
I know, but
the way I see it is they have enough weight now for them to negotiate their way through their own careers without letting organizations or their promoters attach bogus belts to them, right?
But you see, look, if you're looking at this, right, them two fighters, especially these two fighters, you can easily see this boxers, Manny Pacquiao is getting robbed by Bob Arum and his money and his purse, right? He's getting robbed.
Well, how's
he's
getting robbed? He just signed an extension to his contract.
They're getting robbed. So what I'm trying to say to you, this is why I give them two. I wouldn't have been bothered. I'd argue about the belt. This is just my opinion. I'd argue about the belt, right? But not them two. You can think it's after what happens after. Let me see people trying to fight for the belt because the credible champion and the #1 champion is Tim Bradley. Are you trying to now? You make Tim Bradley like a dickhead. Furthermore, you're making that belt what Tim Bradley holds doesn't mean shit after that belt. I think he used to have that belt. Margarito had how many defenses of that belt? He had a lot of defense of that belt, you know, to make that belt credible. Certain people have held that WBO belt to make that WBO belt a credible belt. And now you've done that, is throw that all that credibility they've earned. This is what I'm trying to say into the garbage.
You know,
I don't blame. I don't blame.
It's not the worst thing to happen anyway, because it's just exposing the belts even worse. And that's what they need to keep making these. They need to make an action title next. Yeah, well, because just for fighters who can't win elite fights against technical fighters. Yeah, okay, here's the action belt. You know what I mean? That's what's coming. You said, I mean, you shouldn't have said that.
No.
I should delete it. I should edit the video. I should edit this out of the video.
I had to mention it because that's the progressive thing, because that's what's happening. If you look, it's not like something I just made up. If you look, that's what's happened. They've actually got the super belt, the super belt, the super duper belt. And then they got the gold belt, the silver belt. They say you have the red belt, blue belt, black belt. That's what's going on, bruv.
Yeah.
Wait, it's coming into some kung fu master thing.
Exactly.
No, I'm not joking, because that's what's happened. Like, and people with the super champion and I try to understand it, right? With
the Southpaw Championship next or something.
Yeah, like, I try to see the interim champion, right? If I thought about it, okay, because the guy's not defending his belt. Right, that's what they do. But if you look at it, the reason why they got interim champions is because they're not getting no money. So they make that belt to put someone in there so they can get money from another fighter. Because if that champion doesn't defend his belt, how am I going to get any money? So that's what. And then now we realize we're getting money out from another guy who's not really truly champion. But I don't care. So let's make another belt, interim belt, and let's make a silver belt. Because in that means I'll get more money from another champion and say he's a champion. So basically in one sanctioning body like WBC, we have 5 different titles.
Exactly.
So who's the fucking real champion?
Well,
in that whole thing?
You see, what happened is this fight was coming up and nobody's really talking about it. So what happened was they had some crackpot think tank somewhere who said, right, how can we make this more appetizing to the fans and the television networks? Oh, here we go. And it's just a bad idea. It's just a really bad. I don't. It's tacky.
Yep.
Like a lot of practices in boxing, it's just tacky. It's really tacky. You know what I mean? I don't know, but
no.
We just
we have to talk about these sort of things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, you basically the boxers. You know, the boxers. The thing is, like you said, like at some point, and maybe I'm not taking the blame on the boxers, but some of the boxers should say, hold on a minute, what belt am I fighting for? What am I fighting for that? I ain't fighting for that. I ain't have people questioning me like I'm a dickhead.
Exactly.
Making me look like a retard out here. Like I'm fighting. Sorry, I shouldn't say that, the retard, but making me look stupid out here, trying to say that I'm fighting for some belt, but it doesn't mean anything.
Pacquiao is a puppet because imagine that you lost your belt, regardless of the circumstances the belt was lost in, and then you're gonna actually let them make up a belt. for you to get after you lost, you look stupid.
Yeah, but that's it's very childish. Very childish.
Yeah.
It's very childish. Very childish. But look, it's like Ricky Hatton, yeah? Ricky Hatton had a WBU belt, right? And even Corey San had a WBU belt. When I first started watching boxing properly hardcore, because I was getting every match on Sky One or whatever, I was getting it on Boxing First. I was getting all the fights, right? And they had this WBU belt where certain people were saying it was the world title. Now, where's the WBU belt now?
Exactly. I remember that. Good
point.
You
remember? Yeah,
I remember that.
So what I'm saying is that, you know, and Ricky Hatton's got, I mean, there's 20 defenses of that fight, that belt, and Frank Warren made sure he kept that belt. And even before Ricky had that belt, Shane Neary used to hold that belt.
Yeah.
Right. So what it is that certain people hold the belt, they make him, because look, Shane Neary was so desperate, or so desperate to be a champion, they made him fight for that belt. But this is to do with the promoters. It's like, oh, we can't make him a proper world champion. Let's get some sort of world belt, and let's try and make people believe that this belt is believable, right? And Ricky had 20 defenses of that belt, and he threw it in the garbage. Ricky's still proud to say, "Yeah, I got a world title." That's what we was.
I mean, even in what's his name? Who knocked out Mickey Ward, right?
Yeah.
When he knocked out Shane Neary, in his film, they had it posted up that was his world title win. I was thinking, when did he win a world title?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because it was called the world title, but it isn't a credible world title, and it wasn't a credible world title. But this is what I'm gonna say to you, because certain fighters, they know they can't win a proper IBF, WBA thing title, right? Yeah. But this is what I'm gonna say about the WBO, where they lost their credibility, because when Nigel Benn got that belt from Doug DeWitt, right? Yeah. Doug DeWitt was the first WBO champion, right? First WBO champion, and because he had a fight with Thomas Hitman Hearn, so they created that belt for people like Doug DeWitt, Mickey Ward, Shane Neary, and other people, fringe world challengers, right? To make them have, give them some sort of payday, right? That's the WBO was there. But then you got people like Joe Kawasaki, and people like Antonio Ramiro holding these belts for like 20 defenses and this and that, and it's like, okay, so the belt must be credible. Now, this is what I'm going to say about WBO. I had no criticisms with them, right? Because certain champions holding their belt. But now they've gone and done this, right? Even surpassed the stupidness of the WBC with this fight of the decade belt. Are you crazy? Like, how are you going to try and make certain boxers pundit believe that this fight for the decade? It's unbelievable. Crazy. Unbelievable. It's not credible. There's no credibility to it. And the thing is, but this is what I'm going to say. Certain fighters who need the buck, who need the money, right? Up and coming fighters, they're going to try and find them and put them in it. Because look, if you got Marquez and Pacquiao fighting for this so-called belt, both of them are credible, Marquez and Pacquiao.
Marquez is not credible for fighting for a fighter of the decade belt.
No, with the title. But what I'm saying, they're credible fighters. They're both credible fighters, and then with two credible fighters, you make that belt, you give that belt life. That's what they're doing. They give that belt life. Of course it
does. I mean, that's what Larry Holmes done with the IBF when he took the heavyweight belt.
Exactly.
I'm gonna let you have the last words and wrap this one up.
Well, boy, at the end of the day, we're gonna monitor this very closely. But it just shows you boxing gone crazy. These belts don't mean anything in boxing. It's the guys who hold the belts mean anything, and it's on the back of Manny Stewart dying yesterday and certain things. Manny done a good job in them things about belts, but these belts, right? These belts and this is a farce. And now we've called it out. I think people on YouTube, instead of going at Bob Arum and other things, people need to go out. They need to go at these certain belts and start criticizing these belts hardcore. We need to clean the house on the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely. All right, my brother.
All right, man. Peace out, yeah?
Peace, yes.
All right, cool, bye.